I don't care for lawyers. Do you?
I
Don't
really know any.
Now, for those of you that don't know or haven't heard the update, I have heard that Collect Jurassic and Andy's dinosaur reviews are back up online, and Mattel has rescinded the copyright strikes, which is great news. That's absolutely great news. And all credit to the massive YouTube channels and the community for stepping up to support them in this. The ones that said this is wrong and took a stand. There were channels that were much, much bigger than RetroBlasting that did that, and all credit goes to them for helping, really put the magnifying glass on Mattel and say, hey, and, Lore Legends and the Gaming Beaver are two of the bigger channels. I mean, Gaming Beaver's huge, but they made videos talking about this in support of those YouTubers, which is wonderful. It's great. It's great to see that happen. It's great to see lawyers like Leonard French come forward and say, yeah, according to copyright law, Mattel exploited and took advantage of a non-copyright issue by using YouTube tools that weren't applicable to the situation. So, in other words, their beef with these two YouTube channels could not, by definition, be a copyright issue, but they gamed the YouTube platform in order to get a quick result.
Yeah, but your scientists were so preoccupied with whether or not they could, they didn't stop to think if they should.
In many ways, we've seen this behavior go on in the recent past with Toei animation.
You read what others had done, and you took the next step.
As I said in the last video about this, they will game the system to squelch discussion. They want to control the narrative. They don't care if they use copyright tools over a non-copyright issue.
You didn't earn the knowledge for yourselves, so you don't take any responsibility.
They don't care if they, bring the hammer down on a person or people or channels who did not sign any contracts, were not part of any embargoes, and had no knowledge of what the details of those embargoes were. They don't care. But then when they get caught and then they backtrack, it's a great win for the fan base, but they never stop the behavior. And they keep testing the limits. They're like toddlers. They keep testing the limits of their environment until they get smacked. And as a community of buyers, collectors, boots on the ground, average people, we need to be checking them on that. We don't need to be treating these companies like they're our friends. Now, I hadn't intended to talk about this since the resolution came through. I was just doing the one video. I was very happy about that when I heard that the channels had been reinstated. But then this morning, something odd occurred. I was going through my dashboard, checking my stats, getting ready to work on Indiana Jones. I've been working hard on Indiana Jones and the Last Hurrah, which is a big feature coming up soon. Here's a quick preview.
That doesn't look like the actress. That's not Karen Allen.
Marion is a great character, but when you're 10, you don't play with girl toys. Unfortunately. I'm sorry, Karen.
When I pulled up my dashboard, in the corner, they give you the latest comments from all your videos. And I saw one on the Jurassic Park Mattel situation video from a guy who was basically pitching for the corporate team. And he was saying, don't these review channels make money off this? I think they do. And I'm going, wow, douche. So I told this guy, I was like, you know what? You sound like a Mattel employee. You sound like, either that or you're just an ignoramus. And I said, do you not understand that when you're doing Jurassic Park toy reviews, especially on dedicated Jurassic Park channels, I bet you in a month, given subscriber counts, these channels might be pulling in the price of a delivery pizza. Maybe. For the whole channel for the month. I mean, I was like, you need to learn how YouTube works. And then beyond that, we get back to the issue that I just mentioned, which was this person is avoiding the major issue, which was outlined by Leonard French and others, which is that Mattel exploited the copyright system as a way to silence channels that weren't in violation of a copyright clause, nor were they signees on any official embargo for release of photos and all that kind of stuff. Nor were they knowledgeable about the details of said embargo or said contract because they weren't party to it. All of these things were ignored in this comment. But this individual, whose first name was James, and I was like, something about this strikes me funny. There's a disturbance in the force here. So I went to his channel, and he had no videos, no playlists, no liked videos, no uploads, nothing. Channel had been created sometime in 2019. That was it. But beyond that, it was just a generic green dot with a J, like YouTube substitutes for you if you don't have your own picture. And I was like, wow, something about this just is off. So I looked up his name and Mattel as a search on Google. And I found out that James is a lawyer for Mattel.
There's a particular pebble in my shoe, represents my investors.
He is a law firm that Mattel retains for copyright and trademark cases. As a matter of fact, in 2007, he was the head counsel in the defense of Mattel against a company that was suing Mattel for stealing their technology. And Mattel, of course, won that case because big money, big lawyers. They walked away from that. But what I found more odd, and I tried to do my due diligence on this because I made sure, James is a pretty common name. The last name, not so common, but at the same time, do a search. And I found a number of different people, but they were all very unrelated to this community. And the fact that there was that name tied to Mattel in a legal way about trademark infringement and copyright, the coincidence is too narrow a margin to be a coincidence. Unless I want to consider the possibility that the individual that posted that was an aging university professor, that was one, or a myriad of randos that I found on LinkedIn who have no connection to any of this whatsoever. More than likely, it's a Mattel lawyer. A Mattel lawyer who didn't comment on any other video about this incident. He didn't comment on Laura Legend's video. He didn't comment on Gaming Beaver's video. He didn't comment even on the channels that were being neutral to positive about Mattel's actions, which were few, but they're out there. He didn't comment on those either. He only commented on mine. And in a pro-corporate way. Now, this may be this man on his own individual volition, but I don't think so, because if his law firm is in the employ of Mattel on retainer to be their copyright police, then he's using that retainer fee to spend a few minutes on YouTube watching my stuff. Again, there were channels with millions of subscribers and many more subscribers than mine. He only commented on mine. Which it does make me wonder, are those channels largely, even though they're a lot bigger than mine, are they not as direct in their accusations and approach? Are they not as damning in their criticism? Are they friendlier? Do they throw marshmallows in with the kibble before you pour the milk on it? I mean, do they make the cereal fun? I thought it was hilarious. And it also lends itself to another question. If Mattel is directing their lawyers to cruise YouTube after this has already been decided, because the situation's already been decided. They've retreated, they've said, oops, our bad. They've given the channels back their thing. Sorry, we should have been a human being about it. So then why are there lawyers snooping around YouTube channels that were, aside from a reaction video, unrelated to the incident? Like, I wasn't one of the people that got copyright struck. I didn't have the Jurassic World Dominion toys. I wasn't part of this. I wasn't a victim of Mattel's, ban hammer. I wasn't a victim of it. So I'm thinking to myself, why would lawyers from Mattel, or possibly former lawyers from Mattel, hard to say, but given the connection here, why would they be still monitoring this stuff? Is it possible that their tactic and their end game is still to control the narrative? Is it possible that they lost this battle, but they still fully intend to wage the war? Is it a tactical retreat while they regroup, look at their learnings, send their lawyers out and go, figure out what the temperature of the fan base is right now? What's the social media din going on here? Report back. And this one lawyer couldn't help himself and just had to slap down a comment. Maybe it was all done privately. Maybe it was just this guy, I tend to have that effect on people. So maybe he was just like, "Arr!" and then, but I do have concerns about what this means for Mattel's behavior in the future. Because they have been known in the past to do this to other people. Last year, they did it to a guy, a very small channel, because he saw photos posted elsewhere on the internet, and he just used some photos in a video and that were all over the internet. They were all over the internet, and he got copyright struck. Mattel seems to be in a mindset right now that they don't want people talking about their stuff. Maybe they want them only talking positively, which I know the Jurassic Park guys did. But what they really want is, don't talk about our stuff, just buy it.
The lack of humility before nature that's being displayed here staggers me.
Well, like I said in the last video, if you don't give people opportunities for side hustles these days, there isn't going to be any expendable income to buy your stuff. So if you keep shutting everybody down because they've got, a toy they want to talk about, which is an object, which is not copyrightable infringement. Sure, you can go after them, but you can't use DMCA or whatever it's called, or DCMA, DMCA, whatever it is. You can't use that. That's already been proven. So is Mattel retreating, licking their wounds, and then talking to their lawyers and saying, let's explore for a while. Let's stay low and let's see what else is going on out there. Let's see if there's another way to control this.
We can charge anything we want, $2,000 a day, $10,000 a day, and people will pay it.
Is it a possibility that he's not the same guy? Like I said, yes, but very, very unlikely. If you eliminate the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable. And right now, it's a very good chance that he's that guy. I freely admit, he has plausible deniability to pretend he's somebody else, to pretend he's another James, whatever. But the timing, what he said, what side of the argument he was on, the exact name, being tied specifically to Mattel, having done trademark and copyright, it's just...
But I think things are a little bit different than you and I had feared.
Yeah, I know. They're a lot worse.
They did this horrible thing to these channels and then tried to, get away with it and then couldn't, and then, oh, sorry, we probably need to be human.
But you wield it like a kid that's found his dad's gun.
I'm just telling you, Mattel, how it's going to go down with this channel. There will be no more Mattel product showcased on this channel. I know it's a cheesy thing to say, but the Origins line might just have the power. But I really like these characters. Based on what we're getting from the toy industry right now and a lot of other lines, I think these figures, with their vehicles, with their creatures, are more than we ever could have hoped for in 2021. That's just as simple as I can make it. Now, I'm sure in your mind, that's how you want it. But like I said, the moment everybody gets wise to this and most of these channels stop talking about or showing your stuff, And you guys don't do any of the streaming stuff or anything. You guys don't do like Hasbro, where you've taken advantage of social media to pimp your products to customers. I'd love to know how you guys are going to get out in front of people with your toys at this point. But yeah, I'm not going to give you guys a megaphone after what you did to those 2 channels and the channel last year in 2021. And now having your lawyer surface on my comment section. That's sketchy. Guys, your optics are in the toilet right now. You guys better turn this around fast.
Don't you see the danger, John, inherent in what you're doing here?
James, hope to see you again in the comments soon. Hope everything's going well for you. And I'll see the rest of you on our next video. Bye. Don't move. Mattel can't see us if we don't move.